So there are many ways in which climate change affects human rights, and also how the response to climate change can impact rights. And so it's the role of our organization to make sure that, first of all, the world is moving to, for example, phase out fossil fuels so that we contain the impacts of climate change. The second thing is to make sure that people have a right to speak out without fear of retaliation from their governments, because that's a very important part of achieving an end to the practices that are leading to climate change. And the third is that the way in which the governments respond protect people's rights. So, for example, in the Middle East, many governments rely on energy subsidies and fossil fuel subsidies that need to be phased out. But that needs to be done in a way that protects them from, for example, higher prices. So there are many ways in which we try to educate people as to how the impact of climate change affects people's rights. So, for example, increase in extreme weather events, in droughts, in floods, in fires that affects people, but also food supply. In addition to that, there are increase in migration, and that affects the rights of people who are forced to leave where they live in order to make a living. It affects the extreme heat, for example, affects people who are forced to work under very intense conditions that affects their health. There are many, many ways in which climate change affects people's rights, and we try to show people what those are.